Good evening and welcome to week 6 of Leapfrog. I am your host Aloysius, and tonight we have got 5 sets coming for us. Before we begin, a brief explanation of the format, because it is not your standard format. We have 14 players. Each of them has pre-prepared a team, and they will stick with that team for all 8 weeks. Every week they can make one challenge and be challenged twice, but when you make a challenge you can only challenge people who are higher ranked than you are. If you win, you don't get points, you simply move to the position that you challenged. Or if you are defending, you do not get jumped over. And that'll do for that. I think we're at week 6, so everyone should be savvy on the format. And tonight I am joined by a wonderful pairing. First up, coming back from last week, we have Frelissimo. Say hello.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Leapfrog.
And also joining us is Lord Grimulus.
Bonjour tout le monde, ça va?
And he said no French.
Hi everybody, welcome to Leapfrog. I'm very excited for today. This is my first time on this particular show, and I'm very ready for some exciting KoF.
Yes, we have a pretty interesting card tonight. So we have Ingvarr versus SamuraiPizzaKen, Aloysius versus Neo Kage, Maysey versus Carlo, Dobiqwolf versus SamuraiPizzaKen again. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. Neo Kage and Paladin. So that means 2 people are pulling double duty tonight.
Wait, did you say Paladin?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
The birth of your new name.
I'm going to by default root for Neo Kage in this particular set. Sorry Paladin, but you know there's no love lost there.
Yeah, well, I did want to ask you about what inspired the pop-off last week.
Okay, I'm quite happy to tell you actually. I don't know if now's the right time, but maybe we can revisit it later on in the show.
Okay.
Just to start off with, I'd much rather talk about these 2 players that we've got coming up. We've got Ingvarr and we've got SamuraiPizzaKen. I can tell you some very interesting facts about SamuraiPizzaKen. He's an awesome Scotsman who once made the journey all the way down from Scotland to attend, I think it was an 8 or 16 man bracket at my very first multi-title event way back in 2017.
Okay.
The man sat on a bus all the way down from Scotland. Amazing.
Yes, that's some dedication, really.
I know,
right.
So this is the tale of the tape. We had Ingvarr going up against SamuraiPizzaKen, or SPK for short. You can see a slight discrepancy in the age, obviously close, but they're not close as far as their locations are concerned. One is in Bridgend, I have no idea where that is. It's probably at the end of a bridge somewhere. And the other is in Glasgow.
Yeah, and their first KOS being 96 and 2002. That's 2 very different eras, especially in terms of like 2002 had like a bunch of system mechanics with the tags and all that stuff. So but the legacy skill is one thing that always carries on throughout every KOF. That's what everybody loves to say, right?
Indeed. Now I have a vested interest in this match because I happen to love the way that SamuraiPizzaKen plays Clark.
Yes.
Slight disclaimer, I actually have stolen quite a lot of his tech. So I do this with every card, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it is the internet, but starting off the round, just staying far and not letting him get in. SamuraiPizzaKen get in, but he gets the CD, goes for the knockdown. Okay. Alright, just sticking to the plan, just going for far conversions. Interesting. Oh no, gets strip guard punished! And now the full combo. Oh, okay, never mind, drops it. Let's see what else goes on here.
See, this is quite interesting because Kukri is one of those characters that kind of relies on you being in a certain place at a certain time. Very slippery though. But if you're caught in a corner and you get caught with a frame trap, that's it, you're pretty much done for. But it was actually quite good of Ingvarr to take out Kukri so early on. We've got Dolores now. Dolores is usually Ken's anchor, if I'm correct. So this is quite interesting that playing this in this order.
Actually, no. I think last week he was actually playing Clark on Anchor last week.
Really?
I'm not. Yeah, I think so. Maybe somebody can confirm it for me. But I definitely remember Dolores not doing so much work last week. So this week, maybe he's going to be able to do that. But very patient play right now.
I'm liking the spacing here. And just using those buttons and... Ooh, then we've got the command grab. Using those buttons to keep a certain distance. Dolores, though, one of those characters that has a... I think people have gotten used to the way her playstyle. They tend not to jump in at such obvious angles.
Yeah, I mean, I do see some people still struggle with the frame traps that she can do with the pillars and doing the conversions. But, you know, still very good buttons like that down C with that anti-air. But in such a situation right now, being stuck at range from Ingvarr.
Now, what's interesting here... Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Because you can see that Ken was fishing for that teleport to work.
Yeah, it's exactly. But you know, now it's stuck in the corner with you, Miss Dolores. Get stand deep and stuff.
This is a mugging!
Oh no! I mean, 2 bars to finish it off, but you know, she finished her plate.
To be fair, I think Ken's just making a statement there. He's saying, do you know what? I don't need my bar.
Yeah.
Because Crunchy Dolores is just going to win here.
That is true, but you know, Ash with the, I mean, it's very infrequent, but oh, here we go! No! Didn't spend a bar here! Well, you do have one more character left.
So I quite like the way that Ken's playing Dolores here, but with Ash, I think you've got to stay on top of the character because they'll do this. Play the fireball game, keep you out, goes for a cross-up, nobody home.
Yeah, you know, there are not so many great buttons for Ash on the close range or even the mid-range. But
no, I disagree, actually. Ash's stand D, which can... That one there,
Yes.
which is quite good forward and backwards because it does move a little bit, is very, very good. It has a lot of priority and it's a great combo starter for the character.
yeah, you definitely need X mode to be able to convert with that. But, you know, I mean, this worked out. So maybe we're going to get a little combo exhibition treat with this final Anchor versus Anchor round.
Now, this is a tough match for Clark. Oh, nice! Because
Oh my god. Yeah.
Ash, on a good day, can keep you out with fireballs. Now, Ash has got 4 bars, activated 2. Oh, Clark could have just...
It's another chance, but doesn't work out.
Oh, what is going on?
Spaghettis, but it's fine.
Yep.
Just gonna have
Skittles all over
to...
the floor.
Yeah, just change the game plan though. That's a great move by Ingvarr, but gets
Good
sniped
jump.
by the jumping A.
Goes for the positional advantage. Safe jump. Oh, that was nice.
Right through. It's fine. It's fine.
I love Clark. Clark is so amazing. Clark is life.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this version, you know, I mean, he's always been a really fun grappler to play, but now with all the different conversions and the anywhere juggle, but that jump A does the round. But yeah, that anywhere juggle is like something goes into Oki. That's just like something that he may not have the damage, but he does have the mind games on tap.
But you see, that's why Clark doesn't have the damage, is because he has stuff like the anywhere juggle, and because he can snipe you quite easily, one with his sweep, and you can combo the sweep into the anywhere juggle, and it's constant damage. So that's why his damage output isn't great. That's my
Yeah, and
thought.
don't forget the stutter step as well.
Indeed. It goes over loads, but it's incredibly punishable if you know what you're doing.
Oh, so
you, Miss
aggressive. Ingvarr getting SamuraiPizzaKen into the corner. SPK gets air to air, but gets the slide. Never mind.
Oh, that
my
could
God.
have been so awesome.
Yeah, that was so dirty. Alright, getting the crumple. Let's see what's the setup. No. Oh, okay. Goes for the double overhead. See, this is the thing about Kukri, guys. You know, people say he got his legs chopped off, but at the same time, you have to remember, even though it is a knowledge check, what is he going to do? That's the biggest problem.
He's still a strong character. Even the characters that got nerfed to high L, like Ralph, are still very, very strong and useful.
Right, exactly.
Now, Hayden is another character I use. I love Hayden. I love all of Hikari, apart from Yona, she's trash. But Hayden, like Clark, what he lacks in damage, he makes up for in trickiness and maneuverability, and being very, very difficult to hit. Although, to be fair, Ingvarr is doing very, very well at being hit. currently.
That is one thing, but at the same time, all those limbs and the way that he's able to just change the tide, like the momentum at any point, it's just like something that can be so oppressive.
But here we go.
Yeah, back to Ingvar's Ash. It's going to be a very tight game for him if he keeps getting hit like this.
That was a good escape, actually. I can see what Ken was trying to do there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, going with the roll out, just taking advantage of not being able to... Yeah, the invincibility, basically.
Now, you see, what I like about EX fireballs, most characters have them these days, is the fact that if you use them predictively, like Ken just did, and there, you're prospectively losing the EX fireball, it stuffs any attempts that you try and make. You press a button, you get hit. You throw a fireball, you get hit. So
Oh my god, exactly like that. Yeah, just basically like, okay, I'm calling it out. Oh, gets the DP, but left with a prayer to finish off the game. That's going to be a hard comeback,
You've got,
yeah.
300 health, if that, 250 health. It's going to be a tough slog for Ingvarr.
Yeah, especially if you're just going to get caught jumping like that.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
You have to remember who you're playing against. This is Crunchy Dolores here. You know,
That
you
is
can't.
true.
You can't. I wonder if she smells like Crunchy. I love the smell of Crunchy, don't you? So you're playing against Dolores. You've got to check your jumps and make them unpredictable. You know,
Yeah,
if your
that is
character's
true.
standing still, do not jump in because some characters play the do not jump game. Dolores is
I
one of
mean,
them.
even if she's just standing still, you know, you buffer it basically by holding back and down back. So you're just going to be in trouble regardless. By the way, I got a different nickname for her. It's Mud Mommy.
Mud what?
Mud Mommy.
Mud Mummy.
Yeah, because she's Cookie's mom. So
Do you know, when they first brought out this game, I actually said this. Super and I had this discussion. And we were saying, you've got all these characters with really, really cool powers. You know, you've got fire, you've got lightning, you've got, excuse me. You've got all these different really cool powers, and then you've got her with mud.
I mean, it's a very JoJo thing. I'm pretty sure that's what the inspiration is. But
Yeah.
very clean round from SPK. Taking minimal damage. Probably gonna get back like about...
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. This is
I
not
just got
good.
some here.
Yeah, I mean, SPK's up 2 games already. And working on a third by the looks of it. Oh my god, that... Stop, run, and just going for the slide. Sneaky.
Okay. So one thing I've noticed with Ingvar's gameplay is that Ingvarr is often pressing a button on wake up. Like
That
that.
is true. Yeah.
Very, very easy to bait. It's like the old adage, why are you doing a wake up super form?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Sometimes you just gotta wait
is,
it out.
it is pretty much PTSD when you're playing against a Kukri, especially when you're just like, okay, I'm not sure what he does, I don't know what to do. Maybe a bit more knowledge would help him, but I
mean,
can
to
see
be
why.
fair, do you need the knowledge? It's possible, yes. There's only so many things that Kukri can do. Kukri is easy to predict if you know, excuse me, what you can do against a character and what works. Like that, for example. It's great. For example,
Yeah.
Kukri is, let's see, is he going to drop this? Yes, he dropped it, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Kukri is move in the air, where he sort of does a flip and comes down on your head.
Yeah, it's
Snap T, knock him out of it. Easy.
yeah, I mean, you know, if you just... It's just one of those things where you have to catch the startup and you're not sure whether he's going to do it. But at the same time, it's not really an overhead with the the jumping CD cancel. So, oh no.
You've got the first OCV of the night, guys.
Yeah, the dive bombs. But yeah, basically, you know, the jump CD is not an overhead universally. So, you know, sometimes it just catches you like, oh, thinking, oh, I'm just going to block this. And then after that, have to respect it. But then, you know, sometimes people are too, how should we say, disrespectful, basically.
Yeah, that's a good word. Disrespectful. Which is what Ken's doing right now with his Kukri. Ingvarr is struggling to find an answer. I think that Ingvarr should probably chill a little bit. Try not to be so aggressive, maybe.
I mean, that
Take
is
time and-
exactly why he's getting the damage, because SPK is doing a lot of whiff punishes on Ingvarr, actually.
Exactly. And that Eora sweep in my opinion, you should never use it. Forget the button exists.
Oh god, yeah. I'm
Because you
total
will catch
regretting it.
damage. You will catch
Yeah.
damage every single time it's used.
Oh no.
That's
See,
what I'm
that's
talking
an
about.
example.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just basically impatient on that exchange.
Now, to be fair, I understand that Ingvarr is maybe fairly new to 15. I think most people are. And this has taken a while for a lot of people to get used to this game. Ooh, just jump straight into the sand cone there.
Okay, yeah, gets
Kick the
the
section.
trip card. Oh no! Roll right through the predictable fireball.
It
Predictable.
was a little bit predictable. Predictable.
But-
The problem that you've got with Haydn is that his fireballs are incredibly punishable. So I think they're best used as a setup tool, as a
Yes.
pressure tool, but never close by, because a roll close by will get you punished. It's not like Athena where she gets a really quick recovery. Haydn doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, using those fireballs to close the distance is exactly the game plan for Hydern. I feel works best.
Yep. Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Ingvarr
trip guard
used hard
punish.
kick there. There's no guarantee that the hard punch would be useful, but it would have been a better button because it could have potentially caught an outstretched limb on the cross up. Haydn's hard kick doesn't cross up.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's great. Oh, yeah, see, that's the other thing about SPK. You have that liberal use of that little sand eruption.
Yes.
And it catches so many things.
Yeah, it does. Shatter Strike whiffing there, unfortunately, for Ingvarr. Ingvarr now struggling to find an answer. Can Ingvarr at least kill Kukri? It's entirely
It
possible.
was very, very close, that last exchange.
Yep, that was a good jump in there. Ingvarr almost doing it. Oh! Ingvarr, I was rooting for you. I really,
Double
really was.
OCV. The mental
Now,
damage
personally-
must be comfortable.
Personally, I'd really like to see Clark first now because Keng's got like a huge buffer before game's up. And I really want to see Clark, and I'm not seeing Clark, and I'm really disappointed because I really wanted to steal some tech.
I mean, don't forget, SPK has another set later on.
Okay, good. Against who? I can't remember.
Let me quickly.
You? Oh, okay. Dobiqwolf. Another
Dobiqwolf,
Haydn.
yes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting set to watch.
Oh, okay. Tried to anti-air jab it, but basically just like, okay, I'm gonna set up shop.
Oh, interesting that the second hit didn't catch.
Yeah, it's a little bit high, I think. But gets again. I have no idea. I've lost count of how many times this has happened to Ingvarr.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets catch in the air. Oh no. Come on, dude. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Finally a EXCP.
Oh, you see,
Oh.
you've got to wait for the confirm, unfortunately. I think Ingvarr was a bit impatient, or maybe just went on autopilot there. But waiting for the confirm is actually key. If you die using beforehand, chances are you're going to get blocks. Especially if the first move is blocked, you'll get punished for it. So, I'm hoping that Ingvarr can actually make a dent with Haydn. I'd like to see Clark make some play here.
Okay, bad fireball, so gets the whole damn punish. Gets hit by the clone, but no actual setup. So it's going to have to be. Oh, nice way to escape.
Yeah, unfortunately, we used meter, which Ingvarr couldn't really afford to lose there.
Yeah, but you know the sweet setup. Let's see what happens here. Oh, okay. Learn something. That's at least gonna be something beneficial for Ingvarr in the
Yep.
future.
Yep. Oh, I knew that was going to come as well. The spacing wouldn't have allowed a clean jump in. It was always going to be in favor of SamuraiPizzaKen and that little eruption. Tiny volcano.
Sankano, but
I love it. I'm stealing it.
yeah, I mean, Sand Baby getting again. Oh no. Just stuffing every little button he tries to put out. That's the biggest problem that Ingvarr is getting. I'm just hoping he learns something from this match because he is getting squalled.
Okay, so I always like to try and impart something positive to people
Yes.
who lose like this. Ingvarr, watching your style of play, I really would recommend that you stop pressing buttons and wake up and actually watch what your opponent is doing. Because KoF is a very, very fast-paced game, and it's very, very easy to get caught up in the whole action of things and not actually, and forget to stop to look at what's going on. If you keep pressing buttons, you're going to get hit because your opponent will be watching you when you should be watching them.
I mean, there was a few moments where Ingvarr was basically finding ways to adapt. You know, a little bit expensive, maybe not optimal, but you know, escaping the corner with the EX run from Hydern, stuff like that. But really need to stop, think, and analyze the situation.
Exactly. Have you ever seen a film called Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Sorry. Okay, Aloysius was trying to impart some knowledge. Oh god, yes! Exclamation mark Matcherino, boys, girls, everyone. Please make sure that you hit that Matcherino. There are no codes, there are no sponsor requests, but this is the contribution poll for the entire Leapfrog League. So make sure that if you have any means to be able to impart some thanks to our players, please do so.
Do you know what? I love Matcherino, the concept behind it, because it helps events like this to actually offer a prize where it would otherwise be difficult to source. Matcherino, even though there aren't any codes, it gives the community or people in the community chances to support grassroots things like this. I'm a huge supporter of Matcherino. In fact, today I'm going to make a donation myself.
Ooh, let's see what's going to be popping up on our screen then.
Yeah, although I can't remember my login.
Right here. Wait, can't you just use the Twitch login? You know, just click on the...
See, I logged in with Facebook, you see.
Oh dear.
A very, very long time ago. And, yeah. I'll come back later and do the thingy for that.
Right. But, you know, I mean, the thing about Matcherino, you know, our shout-outs to Arturo Sanchez, who is the, you know, the director for FGC, Matcherino, stuff like that. And, you know, being able to get it out there and try to help us normalize it, it really helps, especially outside of the US, when you think about it. Okay, so we have Aloysius versus Neo Kage. Now, have you ever fought Aloysius? Of course you have.
Of course
And
I have.
how would you describe him in one word?
Well, he uses pronouns, so one word, delinquent.
Oh god, no. My word is cancer. Because I mean, I love Blue Mary, but oh my god, he makes me hate her. And you know, his unhealthy is just like, you know, there are some moments where he can be caught, you know, going for the same setup, but at the same time, how do you know what he's going to do sometimes? Yeah. Like, you can pretend that, okay, he's just going to do it every now and then, but yeah. So he starts at KoF 13, used to play a lot of Guilty Gear and stuff like that, but you know, thankfully... Yeah, thankfully he has come over to the light side, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, or what do you want to say about Neo Kage?
Well, Neo Kage, I've actually played him before, and he's got a really, really cool dinosaur. I don't think he's using dinosaur anymore. I think he switched to Ryo. And his Ryo is very set heavy. So he relies on setups with Ryo, which I do appreciate. I've been caught by them a few times. So here we've got Cake, we've got Ryo, and we've got Shermie.
Yes.
Yeah, Neo Kage does like a grappler. I don't know why Neo Kage didn't actually go for Clark, personally. He's the best grappler in the game after all. And like I said, his dinosaur was actually really, really, really good.
Well, I mean, look at the position that Neo Kage likes to play Shermie. I did watch him play last week, and oh my god, his conversions are so clean.
They are. They're well practiced.
It's like any little mistake makes you feel like a complete idiot.
That was a free punish. Aloysius struggling to manages to get 2 hits in. I'm not going to be funny here, but I actually think I know where this is going to go.
It might be because maybe Aloysius didn't get a lot of time to set up because, to warm up.
Don't
because
make excuses for the guy.
fine. We have to show some love. We can call him a scrub afterwards, but it's
We
fine.
are showing none love. That's how much love we're showing. None love.
Oh, but that neutral jump, never mind, destroyed my expectations. Aloysius, you are losing a fan here. Oh,
Good
okay.
DP there, but this is what Joe's good for, is that fireball dragon game.
That is true, because it's kind of weird that he has that compared to other zoning type characters that have DPs. And it's so much better. It's not fair, I think.
It's not fair. Joe's actually got quite a good keep out game.
That is true.
His fireballs take up not the full screen, but the full height of the character, which is difficult because it's the only fireball in the game that does so. I say fireball projectile in the game that does so. It's
That
very
is
difficult
true.
to jump over, especially if there's 3 of them on screen.
Yeah, I mean the 3, that's pretty much DP in your face if you try
Yep.
to jump that. But basically, oh no, this Rio, I just wanted to see more of it. Come on, jump CDs though. It's like such a good button, but at the same time, his damage can be quite exponential.
Yes.
Yeah, and also with those parry cancels and stuff like that to really play games with your opponent's head. It's not a shoddy character at all. But here, I think, is the real problem with Aloysius.
They're all
I'm not even saying, not about his team. I'm talking about like just pure his mentality when he plays Angel is kind of I'm not sure what it was when he was just doing those standees. I think he's just trying to make me look bad for talking him up, but it's fine. He gets the round, but this is going to be very scary for both players. Watashi wa presento. Okay, yes.
Do you know what I love about Shermay?
Not the thing that everybody else loves?
No, do you know what? I actually dislike her design in this game.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of that.
Yeah, I liked her how she was in 98, and earlier in earlier versions of the game as well. But in this game, she just looks a bit caricaturish. You know what I mean?
I think the word you wanted to say was tarty, but that's fine.
Excuse me, this is a PG show, okay? We don't utter such slurs about important SNK staff or characters. But no, I much prefer the way she looks before. I don't quite like this look on her. It's probably why I don't really gravitate towards her, if I'm honest. But she's still a very, very good character. She's very, very strong, very, very tricky, slippery, covered in treacle.
Yes, exactly. Not the kind of treacle that we're thinking about, but at the same time, Aloysius was showing such good, space control with those jump Ds and jump CDs, and then going for those fishing.
Oh, that was nice.
Oh, yes, exactly. And Aloysius, what are you trying to do to me? I'm trying to
exactly
pop
what
you up,
happened.
my friend. Okay, go
this
ahead.
Is dead. This is dead.
Yeah, this is definitely dead. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Stompy,
Now, I can
stompy.
tell you why Aloysius dropped that combo. It's actually really quite simple. His brain said DP into DP into DP.
But I mean, he did do the charge slicer, so I'm not sure.
That joke went over your head, didn't it?
Yeah, I think this is
Yeah.
very inside. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, Cronin user, DP into DP into DP.
All right, directed by Christian Bale.
It's fine.
It's
So-
fine. We will know each other better in the future. It's fine. But what was that? The jump CD into the DP, covering all bases. What an option select with quotation marks.
Joe going for a crossover.
Yeah. Trying to see.
It's actually quite interesting because Joe doesn't usually have an active crossover. You've got to be in a very specific position for it to actually work.
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit better, especially in this iteration of the game. I've definitely seen it work quite a bit. I mean, oh no! Tried to parry the fireball with the stomp, but dear God.
Oh. Okay, so Cake can still win this, but not by doing that.
Oh no!
bad.
Yeah, exactly. I think Neo Kage is in a bit of panic mode.
It doesn't really need to. To be fair, Neo Kage, like I said, is a very, very good and practiced player, and
Yeah.
he is one game up already. So why panic?
Exactly. I'm just.
Take your
It's, I mean, it is a little bit of Aloysius' fault because when you, oh my God, that triple parry.
Even remember 37
Right.
or 36. I don't know what number it actually was.
37.
Okay, 37.
The mind ills when.
No!
Oh no! Please, not like this. Now we are treated to the never-ending Joe Infinite. Joe Infinite.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely
never mind.
disgusting.
Yeah, Aloysius being a little bit greedy, I think, could have easily ended off that round. But, oh well. Oh, okay, not greedy in that exchange.
Now, you see, what was interesting about that is that Neo Kage did a standard fireball.
Yeah.
A super from range or an EX fireball probably would have served him better.
Yeah, EX Fireball for Rio is one of the best projectiles in the game. It
Yeah, no, King has
travels
the best
so
projectile
fast.
in the game.
Yeah, it's
She's amazing.
just
is life.
immediately. Well, I mean, yes, we love King with the
Yes.
EX Air Fireball, and
Yes.
I definitely saw you using that quite a bit last week. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, Rio's is still pretty up there. Oh
good.
no! Here we go with the party carnival. Ooh, okay.
This is the mini run.
And the auto combo.
Auto combos.
Okay, so here's the thing about Aloysius. He does not feel shame using auto combos. It's
Really?
exactly like that Asian player, I think M Dash, who uses auto combos because of the plus frames.
There are plus frames on an auto combo.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. It's on Benimaru. That's who he uses it on. But we
Yeah.
get that super that everybody in the chat is thirsting for.
Wait, I would have thought long super would have been more thirst quenching than this one.
You know, I mean, this is one of those things where sit on me goes both ways, I feel. It's just a matter of whether you like it from the front or the back. But gets the overhead conversion and the taser. Let's see, go for the DP. Yeah, into the rush. Yeah. I mean, usually I worry because sometimes Mary's super conversions are not the most optimal. They can drop off in damage pretty heavily.
Well, this is the thing. The more hits you do in general, even if it's part of a combo, the heavier the nerf on damage.
Yes.
So I always wonder why people run up and do down B, down B, down B into max mode or down B, down B into combo. Why would you do that when you can just do like fish for a solid confirm and then insert damage here?
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of characters, a lot of players are just like trying to get it out of the way, I suppose.
Down Bs are good, but you know, like I said, there are lots of better options out there that keeps the damage consistently high.
But it is a really fast game, so we have to remember, you know, sometimes getting that down B and going for the full conversion is going to be a lot more.
I've never seen that before.
God. Yeah, the air parry, very rarely seen. Yes, it is a unicorn.
Up kicks.
What? Hi. All right. But oh my God, what is Aloysius doing? He's not respecting anything. But now trapped in the corner, sadly. Oh, and not a punish, everyone. The guard cancel roll did come out, so he basically was maybe trying to press a button there.
Yeah, and Joe left with cake on his face.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I point this out because I've seen quite a few people think that is a punish when you do a guard cancel roll, and I'm like,
No.
yeah, my husband's basically screaming whenever somebody says that.
It's actually quite difficult to punish a guard cancel roll. It is indeed possible, but it requires spacing and a lot of luck, in my opinion. Ooh, gets the first tap, but unfortunately doesn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, but oh my god, the wherewithal to do the EXDP on the run past, whatever it's called.
The run past.
Yeah, the command run, whatever. But yeah, drops the elbow on the back of Gato's head.
Yeah.
Just brutal.
But no, we got Neo Kage in a slightly better position. Although not really, it's pretty much even now, to be fair.
Oh my god, but if he keeps on getting those parries, he's going to definitely have an advantage because on Hell's normals, you know, some of them are pretty good, but at the same time, you have to worry about getting those full conversions for the mix-ups and stuff.
See, now I learned something new there, and you're going to call her Angel, I'm going to call her Angel because that's what I've always called her.
It's cool.
But Angel's attack string, I didn't actually know that you could interrupt it with down A.
Oh god, yeah. It's basically a lot of training your opponent to do nothing when you're playing on Hell. But you know, if you're playing against a complete Neanderthal who presses everything on everything, it's going to be kind of pointless. But I'm pretty sure Neo Kage is recognizing these situations.
Yeah. Now this is a completely different game from the last one, to be fair. Neo Kage making his mark on this game. Goes to the overhead into Raw Super.
Yeah, not gonna get anything after, which is usually what you want with Ryo combos. But okay, goes for the EX in Shikisyaku. Oh! We're gonna blame that on something.
It's the heat. It's got to be the heat. Of course.
Oh my god. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a casual everywhere. So, you know, pretty good for the cross-up. But, I mean, I don't know how he inputted that. That's the biggest thing.
That was quite interesting. Neo Kage has done some things with Ryo that I didn't actually know were possible. And this is why I love watching all levels of KoF. Somebody mentioned it in the chat for ICFC yesterday. And they said, oh, we don't like watching beginner KoF. And I'm like, why? Some of it is brilliant. Not saying that these guys are beginners, but they're doing things that I've never seen before. And I love that, because it's all knowledge and you're always learning. That's what makes these fighting games fun.
Yeah, I mean, the EU region in itself has a pretty good representation in terms of like character diversity. We're not seeing Cronins everywhere, but like in ICSC Asia, for example. But, okay, so, is he gonna drop it? Oh,
why did that miss?
Because I said he's gonna drop it, that's why.
Well, will you stop cursing him then?
Well, I mean, usually it works the other way around. Hey, what's up, Almighty? Yeah, getting some familiar names in the chat. Sadly, Stupa is not gonna be able to play tonight because I think he's got work, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's got big man problems, isn't he?
Yeah, growing up and shit. Why?
This is what happens when you reach your fourth decade. Responsibility does you in.
Fair enough, but Aloysius handling Neo Kage's Ryo a lot better. But as I say that, getting the hot pressure, being very... Oh no! The EX right into the... I have no idea what that's called actually. I just call it punches. Alright. Shimmy Shimmy didn't go for anything. Just stuffs the whiff punishes with the EX fireball. Is pretty clean. Alright. Ooh, okay, starts off the running command, EX running command grab. It's usually great for a setup afterwards, but Neo Kage fighting it out, getting the Yin Shibukyaku. Now, I'm wondering, what is Neo Kage's idea to be using the Haoken at full distance when it's not
the
EX?
standard one. Yeah. To build meter maybe?
Perhaps, but
it's not necessary.
Okay.
But sometimes people do it as a spacing tool, just to try and keep the character out and say, look, this could hit you. Because the good thing about Ryo's what's it called?
Haoken.
Yeah. The good thing about that Haoken is that it's active for a really long time.
That
You
is
can
true.
actually use it as an anti-air as well.
Yes, exactly. That's the biggest thing, and it has a little bit of that phantom hitbox trauma attached to it.
Indeed. It hits down and slightly above as well, so there's no real reason why you shouldn't throw it out.
Oh, but that jumps. Oh no! Couldn't gotten that conversion, sadly. Okay, jump. Resets. Okay, gets the CD.
Whoa!
Oh
Aloysius
my
is going
God.
ham.
Yeah, this is the turbo mode going into play. Could he kill with this? No, he didn't.
Ooh,
Okay, wow!
what's the mugging?
Jesus!
This is turning into a
Basic-
stopper blocker.
Yeah, basically, you know, I mean, it's not 98 level, the EX Shermie Whip, but oh my god, that bait from Aloysius, holy crap. Like, usually it does have a giant hitbox, but in this game it's a little bit underwhelming. But yeah, I mean, just to call that out. Wonderful. Okay, so we're up 2-2 for the games. It's actually been an analysis match for both players so far. Just learning from each other over and over again.
Yeah, it's quite level, isn't it? This game.
Most definitely. Although there are some funny moments that we're getting here, especially jumping right up into that DP earlier. But oh, nice, being able to recover from the first hit of the fireball.
Aloysius jumping backwards and forwards with that CD, dancing around like crazy.
Aloysius was being Bart Simpson at that point. He was like, if you get hit by my limb, it's your own fault.
I thought Cartman said that.
No, it's, you know, the Bart Simpson windmill thing.
Okay, I thought it was maybe I just watched it in a South Park episode and just attributed it to that because I stopped watching The Simpsons like 20 years ago.
I mean, same here, brother, but still.
Is Simpsons still going?
Yeah, I'm gonna know that. Thank you very much.
I mean, you're like 12, so...
Oh yeah, I'm 12. I'm an Asian, so obviously I'm 180 years old and I look like this. But so we go back into the match. Oh, such a nice block string, honestly. Like the way that he just, like, I think Aloysius had to be looking for that gap, but just was not able to capitalize.
So Angel was an absolute thorn, a pain in the bum for Neo Kage last game. I'm hoping to see lots more shenanigans from Aloysius actually.
But we're getting shenanigans over here from Neo Kage, getting that CD into the... Oh no! Just gonna roll right into it! The Bart Simpson has come true!
Yeah.
Alright.
Just do
So
it.
I'm not gonna follow up.
Overhead.
Oh, the overhead! So gutsy!
See, I did notice actually when Neo Kage did the overhead last time into Raw Super, it took almost no damage at all.
Oh yeah, I mean, there is a video from Olaf Redland based on the, what's it called, the damage scaling. Overheads do take quite a bit of damage. Steals it, really.
Yeah.
Hey, get stuff by the down C, and Olaf just trying to, Aloysius just trying to find his way in, gets the jump punish on the jump in. Oh no, that could have been disastrous for Neo Kage, and here it comes, the pain train. Oh no, okay, try to go for the hard knockdown to go for the setup. I'm not exactly sure why Aloysius did that, maybe muscle memory. It was definitely a situation where he could have killed Neo Kage. So let's see if Aloysius is better on finishing his plate, especially in last round for this game. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Show me jumping buttons are actually awesome. I quite like them a lot. Jumping CD, jumping C, jumping D, all of them are pretty darn awesome.
Yeah, even the neutral jump, the being a giant spike, basically, and you know you can call. Basically, Shermie is Normal's the character. Having
Normal's the character. I'm stealing that and all.
I have so many things to copyright. Oh no! Gets
Right there.
all right, never mind. Gets the anti-air grab.
It's still.
Watashi wa presento. Yeah, this is dead. Definitely. She does not have Clark's problem.
If I was Aloysius there, I'd be screwing because he had the victory and it was stolen, snatched from him like a bully taking away candy from a baby. It was just wrong. Sorry, Aloysius, you got mugs there.
It's fine. Like I said, it has been those matches where they analyze and figure out things, and I think Aloysius opting for the character order select and going for Angel first. This is the thing that I want to see because Angel on point, especially when you're fighting a character that does not have meter to get some easy escapes, it's going to be quite special, I feel.
I've not actually seen this matchup before. Cake versus Angel.
Okay, you have to tell me what cake is. Like, seriously.
Cake, gâteau. Is a cake en français.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's why I keep saying cake, because gâteau is cake in French.
So that's why, I mean, it's the same reasoning when I say no panties for Ash, but yeah.
What? Wait, what?
Sans culotte.
Oh! Okay.
Alright. Okay, so cake. No, I have to get this out of my head. Get
No,
Grimulus.
it's gonna stay there forever now. He's always forever going to cake.
I can't. Oh no! The run under after the DP gets punched in the wall. Oh no. Aloysius, this is the second time I've seen you miss this. What's going on, bro? It's not exactly the thing that this is not what I came to see, basically. Oh, sadly. Yeah, just relying too much on gimmicks at this point. Not
usually gimmicks work. They work early on, but after a while, your opponent will actually figure them out. I know this because I rely solely on gimmicks. I've never seen that only hit once. Interesting. Wonder why that happens.
Jesus. But yeah, I mean, the thing about gimmicks is, you know, they either work once or they work over and over again because people don't believe why you're doing it over and over again.
I mean, if they work more than twice, then you're an idiot. To be fair, because you should really see the pattern if you're playing this at any kind of level. First keeps in wake up DP, then
wow. Okay, so that was a great adjustment. Very small move, very minor, but you know, going for that slide because he's been noticing that Kage loves that stand D at the round start with Rio. It's yeah, especially because Aloysius is the jumper.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Rekarambu. Going to go for the damage? Yep. Alright, not in the corner unfortunately, so you can't get the DP follow-up afterward, but oh well.
I did like the fact that he was using the Hurricane. I say Hurricane because it's the same input as one, to close the gap, but it's a slow-moving move. Moving move? Yes, a slow-moving move, which means that, which means that by the time we got to Joe, he was ready and waiting to counter.
Yeah, I mean, Neo Kage was trying to get ready and waiting for that counter hit DP into DP, but sadly... Yeah, okay.
Oh, you're not supposed to jump with her and get hit in the face.
Oh god, trust me, I play Mary, and I've literally seen the wind in front of her shoe hit somebody's face.
That's the phantom hitboxes on this game. Sometimes just make no sense. You can be punching forward, you can be punching forwards, but your hitbox extends behind you. What is that about?
No, but you know, the amount, a little bit of jank is like, you know, the thing, it's like the dirty oil of the food fair, you know? It's the thing that gives it flavor. Okay, Aloysius actually panicking live on the mic. I'm not sure whether the stream can hear him, but...
I'm pretty sure the stream can't hear, but we're hearing all the cussings.
All the groans and moans, basically.
Yeah, it's hilarious behind the scenes. Oh my gosh, that's dead!
Yeah, that's why I stopped talking about the match, because I was just like, this is just like describing the actual move right now.
Neo Kage now has he won the whole set? Has he got one more game to go? I think he's got one more.
Game to go.
In
Game
the commanding
point.
position here.
Yeah, Aloysius just gonna have to tighten things up, I feel. Just get that screwdriver on the arm and fix the joint.
Do you know, I keep saying it, but show me his level 2 suplex super. Why does a throw in the air take damage? It makes no sense. You're not hitting anything. I think someone once said that it's the G-force of being thrown so fast, but...
I was gonna say. I was literally gonna say that. I mean, that is her superpower, quotation marks. Super strength, actually. Okay, so... Getting stuck. Okay, Aloysius fighting out of the corner. Gets the cross up. No, never mind. Gets DP'd right out of it. Jesus. Okay, so stand throw. What can you do here? Yeah, and the pushback.
I've never seen that pushback so far.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what happened.
I mean, it is a blessing and a curse, to be honest.
Yeah.
Alright, Aloysius choosing to get hit by that final hits of those that EXDP, but again, so Neo Kage does show the willingness to DP, so I'm wondering whether Aloysius can take advantage of that. I mean, he has before, so he's gonna have to really try to find that spot. Oh!
There it is.
Yeah.
Cossack, vertical Cossack kicks.
Fine. He still has his Joe on deck, and the Joe with some meters, so it's a little bit more dangerous to deal with.
Only some though. Joe's best with like 2 or 3 bars, so I think that's probably what the intention was in putting him second.
Right, but you know, I mean, considering Gato had like pubic hairs worth of health, I'm pretty sure. You know, because it's short, but anyway, okay, an eyelash worth of health. Yeah, that's PG.
That active guard box, whatever, on Rio's power is ridiculously long.
Oh yeah, I was, my husband plays Rio sometimes, and I just like, I was playing him the other night, and I was saying, you were complaining about Street Fighter 6's stupid parry mechanic, and now you have this bullshit on screen beating me. Like, I hate you. But yeah.
I like this. This is Neo Kage playing really, really solidly here, using Rio as the wall that he is.
Yeah.
Really cutting down Aloysius' gameplay screen.
Yeah, definitely. Rio is one of those unsung heroes of the patch. People talk about all the other characters, but at the same time, I'm just like, there is something there, and he is fun to play, so... Oof. Yeah. I mean, he is a wall. He is a wall with an artillery cannon, the EXD fireball. But, you know, I'm just like... Okay, so Aloysius with my girl, Blue Marie. Oh no, the punish indeed! Okay, was not charging the slicer for the full screen punish, sadly. And that would have gotten around, but the jump CD.
Do you know, I've got to say, I love Neo Kage's corner control. He's actually pressing buttons really, really well in the corner, keeping you pinned down, not allowing you to escape, or making it very, very difficult for you to escape. It's a great tactic to use.
Exactly. I really do like the way that he does measure his distance as well. Yeah. But right now, having a little bit of trouble trying to get in on Mary. And Mary, you know, she has quite a bit of defensive options.
Ooh,
but
this is gonna hurt.
Yeah,
a lot. Like mad.
It is going to go into the climax. All right.
There's still a bit left to play with as well.
You know, the funny thing about Shermie's combos and conversions are that they are so simple, but they are very tight. So the way Neo Kage is able to finish off this round with all that damage and just having to go for the Shermie Carnival at the end, Jesus, this man, like, you do not like to make any mistakes against Neo Kage.
Not at all. Not at all. Neo Kage took a little bit of time to warm up, but by the end of the set, it was definitely fire.
most definitely. I wonder whether Aloysius has any choice words about these highlights that are playing right now.
Insert Aloysius' voice cussing in Welsh. You just cussed Shermie's. Okay.
So the first part and the second part of the match didn't count.
Right. So our next match will involve Carlato or Carlo.
Carlo, yes.
Carlo uses 3/4 of the same team that I do in this Leapfrog event. He's using Clark and Ralph. He plays those two characters very, very different to myself, I feel. Uses Ralph probably a lot more effectively because his Clark is trash. But it's not really trash, it's like just rubbish. But even so, he's a very, very strong player. He actually beat me a little while back to steal my spot. So I'll have to challenge him again, or take a challenge from him again if he wants to try and go for my number 2 spot again. I'm don't really mind which. But either way, I'm expecting to see some explosive play. Who's he playing against? Do you know?
Yes, he is playing against Maysey, actually. And I do remember watching Maysey last week, but I'm not... Sorry. Alright, let me go look at my little cheat sheet.
Is it Maysey that he's playing?
Yes, Maysey.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Well, now, Maysey
Who's
is a grappler player, right?
Yep, I think he uses Clark as well.
Right, okay. I just want to say shout outs to Aloysius being able to catch all the stream highlights without I mean, I assume that he is running this stream by himself. Yeah.
He's got a hut full of elves who are busying themselves in the background, pressing buttons and pulling levers and doing everything that they can to make sure the stream runs smoothly.
Or maybe he's capturing clips using like the select button on his stick.
Yeah.
That could work.
But no, as you mentioned before, we've got Super Minor Battle Farm, the Bristol Massive, Maysey going up against Carlo. He's a London Massive himself. Regularly attends my events in London, as does most of the players in the south. But he's, like I mentioned before, very, very good with Clark, very, very good with Ralph, and surprisingly good with Yashiro. He's got some sick setups with that character. Much as I dislike Carlo in this tournament, he's a great player, and I have to rate him for it. Maysey, I think I played him once again in this. Using Geese, I don't recall his Geese, but I remember his Clark. I always remember a good Clark. And Macy's Clark has got a lot of promise.
Yeah, that is quite, what's it called? A testament from you, considering that you love the character so much. But yeah, both of them starting at KoF 13 and from Bristol and Greater London. What is Greater London? I have no idea what that is.
Greater London is like the outskirts of Central. So London has this annoying habit of growing. It never gets small. It never stays the same. It's always expanding. It's the London sprawl. So Greater London is anything outside of Central London, London City.
I thought it was. I was like, the image in my head was immediately like all the people with the wigs and the makeup. You know, the greater part of London. I don't know.
I didn't actually hear what you said. Sorry.
Oh, never mind. Forget about that. Going into the match. But basically, you know, I mean, this is the thing about Yashiro. He does basically only need one button to see. And this is what I call a prime example of himbo neutral. And it's definitely been working out. He's getting all these hits. Just pressing C. No respect. Jump CD, yes, one time. But wow, baiting out. The wherewithal to not press any buttons for that parry.
Do you know what was horrible for that? Geese was just on the verge of being stunned, and I fear that he died dizzy.
I mean, that's one thing, but I feel like Yashiro does the kind of damage that you can't even get dizzy before you die. Oh, such the wherewithal with the forward B catching the air juggle because it's anywhere. Okay, just going. Oh, catches the roll. Poor Maysey.
This is not nice. Carlo, you're supposed to play fairly. Stop cheating. I think Carlo's got a bus to catch. Maybe he's got an appointment or a date later that he's eager to get to.
I think Carlo just put on some Chanel and embraced the himbo neutral lifestyle right now. Yes, I'm still trying to get that over, chat. I'm sorry.
See, I like what Maysey's doing here, challenging with the jump A and peppering with the down A, but there are other buttons that Clark has which are very, very useful against a character like Yashiro. Your down C is great for spacing, and
stand CD. Yeah, I'm also thinking about the stand CD for the anti-air properties because it's got such an active hitbox and quite a bit of deceptive reach.
That was quick.
That was
Carlos, hurry up! I've got food in the oven.
I'm scared. Like I don't want to say the word because it's not.
Yeah, don't.
But everybody knows that was not very consensual. Anyway,
sorry.
It's cool. I love popping a crowd, and you have a perfect laugh for my validation purposes.
Yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, Carlo just making such quick work. Gets that cross up, but I'm just like, Maysey, what are you gonna do, buddy? Oh no! And Carlo just willing to do that EXDP.
To be fair, Maysey's playing a lot better this game.
Yeah, he has got more hits. Perceptible. And, stuff like that.
Okay, so we could actually see Maysey not get OCV this game. I'm actually hoping that it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, I love the back and forth, but blow-ups like this, sometimes there is some magic to it. Especially when everybody's just like, why is he only doing this one thing and it's working? Oh, okay, but switching out the game plan right now. Nice spacing!
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Is the roll king. What are you doing?
Oh my god, Shermie Whip, run up, punish, and gets the Ichimaya. Oh my god. Carlo
fisted in that corner, man. That was just not nice.
Carlo has broken the rental agreement and started painting the walls inside of Maysey's head. Oh no! I mean, look at all these punishes. Maysey. Okay, here we go. Okay, never mind. Didn't get enough for the punish. Oh, nice, Stanley.
Maysey, come on.
Why? Why are you standing there, bro? Oh my god. Okay. Hot pressure gets out nicely with a card cancel CD, but gets sniped. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we're now seeing Clark on Clark action. This is like 2 goals, 1 cup for me.
Why? Is it horrible or what? I'm not sure what you're trying to say, my friend.
Depends on your take on it, to be fair. I just find it very, very interesting.
Or you have very interesting preferences. But anyway, so the EX... Oh my god. Okay, so yeah. I can't call this match, I'm sorry. Like, what is going on? Grimulus, please.
Well, I can quite easily tell you, Maysey's not capitalizing on the damage that he's doing, but it doesn't matter because Carlo is going to win here.
Yeah.
With this interesting corner combo into Rolling Death Cradle.
Yeah, the max damage follow-up for the tackle. I mean, that crouching C, into max mode. Carlo has been practicing that the entire time he was playing with Yashiro. Basically, just getting those one-hit punishes is just so crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so...
See, that was a shame because... what's the dude's name? Maysey could actually have won that quite easily. You got the Maximo combo, but unfortunately didn't capitalize on it. As a result, Carlo had the perfect answer. Oh, nasty cross up.
Oh my god, the
spacing. Here we go. It starts all over again.
Yeah, but went for the reset, but at the same time, Maysey had enough of his shit, basically. Alright. Oh no, here it comes!
You can do better than a sweep! Oh, and there's the punish. That's punishable even in Tekken, by the way, that overhead. What?
Jesus. Okay.
So let me get this straight. Geese did a high parry, and Yashiro ignored it and hit him behind his head.
I mean,
Interesting.
there is the recovery. We have to account for that. Don't forget about that.
No, it was active. It just didn't catch.
I'm not
Maybe
sure.
it was the positioning that it didn't catch the active defend boxy thing.
Yeah. Well, okay. So definitely, Maysey does play KOF 98 or 2002 because that Shermie whip is not gonna work, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Like,
Macy, you did really, really good in the last game. I believe in you. You are a fellow Clark user. I will champion your cause for you.
here's
You can
my
do it.
thing.
Come on.
Here's my thing. Maysey is seeing possible futures and trying to predict them. You know, it's the multiverse of madness, basically.
Oh
God.
Tackle.
Oh my god.
I can see it. Button's confused.
I wouldn't be surprised if Carlos became a worse player when he's fighting other people after this match because he's just getting away with murder and it's not things that I would think would be very possible with other matches right now. Okay, but nice low confirm, got that little bit left.
Nice.
Of
Kill
course.
him.
Okay.
That is good. That is doable. It's gonna win.
Yeah.
And Macy narrowly avoids another OCV. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure Macy's, breathing a sigh of relief here.
I think Macy's trying to go for these little victories to build up later so he can basically have a better match. Yeah, exactly.
No, you're not Carlo. Don't do that.
Why did you do this? I just talked you up.
See, I know what happened there, right? Carlo is really, really good at doing random tackles like that, right? Full screen running tackles. And I firmly believe that he projected his thoughts into Macy's head to think that it was a good idea to do so.
I think this is the reason why I didn't get my Evo application accepted because I think Xiaohai would just lose in pools if I commentated his match. I really feel...
You certainly have a power, I can give you that.
Seriously, this is... Guys, please prove me wrong. That's the thing you should be doing, proving me wrong. We want to see you do well. Oh no. See that jump on that whiff punish? Just not... Yeah, Maysey is pressing buttons that are not beneficial to him sometimes.
Okay. One of his best buttons, as always has been, at least since 14 anyway, is a stand
Oh
sink.
my
You should
God.
use that liberally.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Very good control right now from Maysey.
Wow. Macy
Yeah.
actually with the corner control there. At
Yeah,
least for a little time anyway.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, he's seeing the pattern. Oh my god.
Sometimes it's better to not finish your strings, to be fair, because the last hit will generally leave you quite vulnerable for attack.
Quite so. But, okay, Maysey, you are playing normal as a character. Just, okay. Getting the corner control from it. But just not, no respect from Carlos.
All those tons to the dome though, that's not even nice. She's meant to be your mate, what are you doing?
Oh my
That's
god.
up. Not sure if that was intentional or not.
It had to be intentional considering the circumstances.
I don't see how it would have been beneficial.
I don't either, but at the same time, I feel like a little bit of insanity overcame Maysey for just a split second, but it worked out. Oh
From
no!
that distance, you've got to be slightly closer.
Yeah, I mean, at least do the stand B before you do it. Yeah, it's really funny that picket fence kick that she has.
Picket fence.
Yeah, it's like a perfect frame trap for, like, you know, just going back into it or going for the running guy man grab. There's so many things you can do. Quite interesting.
Picket fence. Interesting.
Yeah, I just metaphor everything.
I'm trying to figure out how that's said.
Oh.
Anyway, so back to the action. We have Clark versus Clark action. Yes, again. Now, Clark mirrors are difficult.
Oh
This
my
is how
God.
you do it, Carlo says.
This is how you do it. Just do the
this is
human
dead.
centipede over and over again. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Take it,
yeah.
my pretty.
Yeah, you're hearing a lot of terminology because... and a lot of verbal diarrhea, but that's just me.
Well, to be fair, I'd never heard of picket fence before. Not used in fighting game terms. I keep thinking of the rows of fences, the little white fences in front of like a really nice.
Exactly. Isn't
How's
that what
that
her... Isn't that what her kicks look like? I mean, it looks like
No?
maybe a pair of scissors sometimes, but
It doesn't even look like that. How does that kick look like a fence?
you turn it sideways.
I mean, it's offensive, but it doesn't look like a fence.
I see the world through very weird eyes. It's fine. But okay, Maysey going with the Shermie pick, and I think this could work out because Shermie does have very nice far range buttons, especially like that stand C and the stand D. But we're just gonna have to see. Okay, gets the command grab.
So, a couple of changes that I've noticed that Macy made at the start of this game. Slowed it right the way down, works at spacing, stop pressing buttons on wake up.
Okay, that one actually worked.
Yep, it did.
Yeah, I am wanting. Oh no! There was no precedent for you to be able to do that command grab, my friend. Okay, but the geese was doing a little bit better against Yashiro earlier, so maybe we're gonna be able to. I mean, you were trash talking Carlos's Clark, but you know we haven't seen his Ralph yet. Wait, was it Clark or was it Maysey? I don't know.
Ralph
You have
is
so many
lost.
games. Oh yes.
Ralph is lost, but I find that very interesting actually because I can't play Ralph lost in this version of the game. I used to on 14, but I can't do it on this game. It just doesn't work for me in that way.
Yeah, I mean he's not got those reliable conversions anymore, and I know you're talking about in general, not just the
Yeah.
first patch, but yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, those stand Bs just being like, you're gonna press a button, right? You're gonna press a button, right?
Like, stop pressing buttons, stop pressing buttons, stop pressing buttons.
I mean, that's also like the knowledge of the spacing and being able to have the wherewithal. It's
I've
very...
got to say, sorry to interrupt you here, but I've got to
No,
say
go ahead.
that empty jump into command grab has worked every single time that he's done it, and Carlo hasn't learnt yet.
Yeah, there we go again.
Yeah.
Oh no, gets the full damage. Going for the extra extension. Okay, never mind. Shatter Strike time, but I don't think Maysey got those combos.
What
Never
are you
mind.
doing, Macy?
Oh my god! Maysey!
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. It
Okay.
worked out.
Macy, after this, right, hit me up. I'm going to give you a boot camp when it comes to Clark, yeah?
You're gonna shove that Metafy link into his face, huh? It's okay. I know you are a pillar of the community and would never exploit them. It's fine.
No, of course not. Why would I do that? It says.
Okay. Oh no! Get stuffed again!
You can't rely on the same trick too many times. Carlo learning finally, and with his last knowledge check, he manages to take the set 5-0. Now, to be fair, I'll say that Macy did actually make some adjustments, which did work out for him towards the end of that. And there weren't as many OCVs as there probably could have been.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be expecting that. That's not obviously not something that we are trying to see all the time. We do love the adjustments, but at the same time, I think Maysey just might be that kind of player that needs to do it in the lab for a bit, you know?
Indeed. I see Super in the chat playing the Jackass. Saying
So
that
I think-
SamuraiPizzaKen is a better Clark.
So I'm like wondering, here's the thing, I was chatting with Supa while you were doing the ICFC, and basically I was like, when are we gonna get that Kingfluencer money match between you two?
I mean, I would win, to be fair.
Okay, so here's the thing. Super says, I would love that. So I think you might have to give a response for this. It could be for ELF, it could be for any other event, we don't know, but you know.
Okay, here's my response. Ain't happening.
Is that really? Is that why?
Sorry, what? Okay. So,
Okay.
another thing that is happening, however, is the Matcherino. We do have a Matcherino, and we really should be speaking about it a lot more than we are, to be fair, but there's been some great action that that we really should be rewarding. If you guys type in !Matcherino in the chat, it will transport you to the magical land of the Matcherino page, where you can press a button. No, wait, you can't, because there are no codes. You can press a button, however, and donate directly to the prize pool. I believe it's just over £100 now, which is great, because the top 3 of this tournament do get paid out. I will be making a donation later as soon as I manage to figure out my login. It's been a little
I guess
while
that's where the money match money is going into, actually.
Yeah.
A better cause.
But no, it's going to be an interesting final. I believe we're in week 6 now. We've got 2 weeks left. And it'll be nice to see if we can get that Matcherino as high as possible. Give these players something to leapfrog each other for. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. 140 pounds, I think. I'm not sure what currency they're using.
It's dollars.
It's dollars? Okay. So $140 in the pot so far. And, top 3 payout. Wait, is it top 3?
It is.
Yes.
So, now we've got Dobiqwolf versus SamuraiPizzaKen. Now, I really like Dobiqwolf because he's got an awesome Haydn. And now, Dobiqwolf uses Haydn's finger, the stinger, quite uniquely. I love it. Yes. I cannot do what he does with Haydn's finger.
Nobody can, to be honest. This man sees the future.
I know, right?
Okay, but yeah, like exactly with that roll. But sadly, Dobiqwolf just getting so many of these slashes in. Not... Okay, but SamuraiPizzaKen with this patented kukri plate.
This is unfortunate. That was a free hit.
Yeah, it's not going to be, I'd rather you just go for the 3-frame quarter circle front kick. Yep, exactly that. The lightning knee. Yeah.
So this is interesting because Dobiqwolf uses Benimaru, who nobody really touched on this game. On release, apparently he was a bit rubbish, but after the patch, he became less rubbish. And Dobiqwolf has managed to make the most of his tools and the small changes that were given to him.
Yeah, I mean, he does have that crazy conversion now with the super, the double forward, double fireball kick super. So, he does have many opportunities just like this to deal quite a bit of damage. It is a little bit expensive, especially for what you get, but oh my god, the actual range and the
Ooh, that was a sick jump.
God, yeah! Those patented Benimaru, traditionally pretty good normals. Okay. Especially the jumps, jump D, jump C. Oh my god, okay, yeah, just roll and
I think SamuraiPizzaKen stole that match because that roll should have been punished.
Most
Dobiqwolf was probably watching something else. I can believe it with what she's wearing. It's absolutely fine. I would probably do the same too.
This is some real-ass projecting from Grimulus. Okay, but we get the Stormbringer being able to take some health back, and that's the thing about Haydn as well. The longevity that he can enforce is quite.
You say longevity. The Stormbringer doesn't really like that.
Oh my
That's what I'm talking about.
How?
He's so fingered Dolores. That was just wrong.
Alright, thank you very much for inviting me to Leapfrog this week. I will be leaving the chat right now. Anyway.
Wait, where did your mind take you? Because I was being 100% wholesome there.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Okay, but pinwheel combos.
I love that.
I mean, this is something we haven't seen from Dobiqwolf last week. I mean, so being able to get these capitalizations very important, especially on a second character like Haydn.
Now, what I love is that SamuraiPizzaKen is actually awesome at this game. He's a really, really good player.
Yes.
But Dobiqwolf, he's grown from strength to strength with this series. And I've seen him now doing things that he never... Oh, that was a good chase down, but stop. But I see him now doing things that he didn't do before.
Yeah, but you know, SamuraiPizzaKen having the wherewithal to just run up and command grab, EX command grab. You know, he does have these adaptive mindset that is just very beneficial for him, especially when he's looking like he's working on a reverse OCV right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible for Clark. It's entirely possible, in fact, especially with stuff like that. Interesting place, keeping Shermie in the corner.
Right.
Oh, I love the way he uses the hop.
Yeah, it's such good movement, that starter step. The way that SamuraiPizzaKen employs it is just... Yeah.
One
Fluid.
thing I'll say is SamuraiPizzaKen missed the opportunity for a back fist into Maximo combo.
That is true, but here he comes with that full combo.
Can't do it too
Avoid-
far after that because he used EX tackle.
Yep, sadly doesn't have the meter to finish it up, but the Balor and a pirouette spin going
Do you know what?
over. Yeah.
If Ken managed to get a grab after that evasive roll, that would have been sick. I would have been popping off all over the place.
Or no, I don't think that would have worked.
It
You
would
need
have
to
worked, I'm
remember.
telling you, because I've done it. It would have worked.
Okay, yeah. Now I see it. You have to forgive me, okay? I only see Americans play Clark, and you know, not exactly on the level, I would say. Trash talking for no reason, but let's see. Okay.
Can
Oh,
make
stuck
any
with the right.
changes.
Yeah.
There were two
But
characters
sad-
that really gave Ken trouble. One was Benimar and the other one was Hyden.
Yes, sir.
Both of which are characters that people don't usually choose, to be fair.
Oh no, the run-up punish off that DP. Okay, let's see what he's got in store for him. Oh, didn't go for the recovery. Nice Shatter Strike, but no conversion, sadly. I love that Spider-Man jump team from... It's like in Marvel, the game. Yeah, MSH. Alright.
Do you know, one thing I also love as well with Dobiq's Hyden is how he starts each round. He's got some set ways of how he starts each round. I think there's about 3 or 4 that I've noticed so far. And each of them puts him in a really, really good position.
Yeah, he likes to establish that space control before, you know, so SPK gets a chance to understand what's going on. Oh, catches him. Alright, gets the... Okay, never mind. Just puts him back in the other corner, but, you know, try to go for the cross-up. Can't blame him.
That's gonna hit.
Yeah, there we go.
I fully agree with that. He needs to get Kukri out of the way as quickly as possible.
Yeah, sent him to heaven, but not working out because he got resurrected and waves his hands like he just
I
don't
think
care.
he's gonna get all that energy that he just got it all back. He got a climax worth of energy back.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
Dobiqwolf is rise up against the wall here, going up against this militant Kukri. Spin the bar. Good.
Yeah.
What's the mix up?
But okay. Gets out from it. Catches the teleport. See, this is the thing. The adaptation from SamuraiPizzaKen has been palpable. I can't do it right now. Can't say the word right now, but yeah, it's been very significant. Oh my god.
Mannequins.
Yeah, just... Okay.
Dolores got some great buttons. They're really just unnecessarily good.
They are very good, but it's one of those things where you have to be super patient. Just like SamuraiPizzaKen is such a nice sequence in the corner, but gonna have to work for it again. The oppression. Oh, caught the double hop. It was like, okay, all KOF players do this, right? So EX jumping around. Okay.
Oh, just off 2 straws, unfortunately, for Dobiqwolf.
Stop short. Oh my god, see, that's how you use the Journey Whip. Catches the whip punish. Alright. Yeah, you know, the way that move works is just like, you know, her hitbox changes.
Did you
with
see how much energy Dolores had?
Yeah, with a sliver
There was
of
literally
health.
nothing. No, there was not a sliver. There was nothing there.
Just
She was-
like promises that parents have made their
Energyless.
children. Sorry, it got dark a little bit there. But yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm sure y'all with parents, modern day parents, try very hard to not live up to that idea. Okay.
Nobody home.
Yeah. Oh no, unnecessary dodge rolls, trying to predict when he's going to do those slashes, and I understand why. He's been pinned down by those Benimaru slashes quite a bit.
Well, Dobiq does throw them out quite often.
Yep.
He uses it with a great spacing tool and a great pressure tool as well.
Yep, exactly.
that.
And you know, I mean, every time you get it, you get a great great conversion. So why not? Oh, okay, goes full screen this time, but gets caught on the roll. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, does it again and gets the double overhead. Not double overhead, but you know what I mean.
Aiden was such a force in the first game. Let's see if he can make a difference here. Goes for the stinger, tries to tell Kukri off with the finger.
I wouldn't be surprised if SPK has actually seen what Dobiq is doing. Like, you know, he may have that starting sequence, but it's already been nullified by SPK.
Yeah. That was an interesting interaction there, actually. I wasn't sure which side Kukri was going to hit.
That's definitely, but gets the trip card. Punish. Okay, never mind. Didn't get the full combo, sadly.
When you're hiding, I don't really think you need to jump as much as what Dobiqwolf is doing. You can quite happily stay on the floor and like pretend that you're Guile. Characters will jump into you. It's in the nature. People are hardwired to do exactly that. So Hayden doesn't really need to challenge in the air at all.
Right, but I think Dobiqwolf has had a bit of a sense of urgency. Oh no! What with all the jump, that carnival? Alright. Okay, so... Oh my god, just going for the resets over and over again. This man does care. Alright.
Hands on a
Here we go.
tear.
Yeah, double volcano.
Dobiq, don't let it happen.
Oh god, okay. Goes for the
Oh no,
carnival.
Dr. Carlo.
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't get another chance. Oh, that stings, man.
Yeah, SPK going up 2-1. I mean, these matches are like nobody's rushing, nobody's trying to get themselves killed. You know, it's been very lengthy matches with a lot of patience on display, but I think it's literally like who is more of an analyst in this match to understand what the other is doing.
Now, I actually played Dobiq, and I know that he's a very strong player as well. I'm sure he pushed me to my last character multiple times. But I'd like to see a few more patient changes in this gameplay style, because it's getting caught out quite a lot. By
Right.
shenanigans, no less.
Yeah.
Pushing forward too far.
Yeah, as SPK has been taking advantage of those situations and being able to roll through to get Benimaru into such bad situations like this from Dobiqwolf. Yeah.
Now, this is the counter attack. Can Dobiqwolf bring it back from the brink? I actually think it's possible, entirely possible.
He's so good with those. I'm pretty sure he's been bouncing tennis balls with that over and over again. If that was possible, but you know. Hey, catching the slide. See, that round start sweep was an indication of SPK basically shutting down Dobiq at the first frame. Well, not the first frame, but you understand.
Good option. Get some energy back. I agree.
And put in the corner.
get
I
back in the
love it. Yeah. Oh my god.
That's three. That's 3 scoops.
Okay.
3 scoops.
Okay, yeah, man. See, this is exactly what you were saying. He doesn't need to jump too much.
Nope, definitely not.
Just get in position, do those buttons. I mean, it's not guile like you were saying, but those
Hydra's
buttons are
guile.
just. No, I understand. But I'm talking about his range with his normals, which is amazing.
To be fair, Hydra normals are pretty crap. But
Are they?
yeah, they are. They're not. His standing normals are terrible.
Are they just
Those-
deceptive? That's what I'm wondering.
I mean, his down D is actually quite good. His down C is awesome, but far C, far D, terrible buttons.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because they can be ducked? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, and they're really slow startup as well. His stand D is so situational. You have to be really, really high up in order to hit them. There's no point in using that button at all.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I just learned something today. Yeah, especially when a person actually plays Hydern. That really helps. Okay, but SPK with the Dolores getting so many conversions. Like,
Oh, that was a 6 attack! I love
Okay.
that, Ken. You're awesome.
sure thing. But, oh my
Getting
god.
Damage in the corner.
Here comes the
Level
onslaught.
2.
Yeah, definitely gonna go for that cash out. Okay.
Oh no!
Just one more hit. Oh, okay. Oh,
That would be nice
Okay.
to get on the board here.
please,
Like I
we're
always
old
say,
enough. Very eligible for heart attacks right now. Okay, here we go. Oh, chase down. Never mind. Yeah, great reactions from SPK to get out of that situation and turn it into positive.
Well done, SPK. But 3 games to 1. See, it's a big turnaround from the very first game, isn't it?
Exactly. Okay, so I think Dobiqwolf is taking a moment to, okay, yeah, just collect himself. Not going for the order select OS.
Round 1. Ready?
Alright. Oh my god, just starting off the round with it this time. Getting the stuffs on SPK. It's been a back and forth for now.
See, I've never seen another Cooper use that as an anti-air before. So I like the fact that Ken's doing that.
Right, exactly. And that's, it's a very good indication of, finding tech that not many other people use. You are definitely seeing a character specialist in SPK. Alright, Sand Baby. Full health. Nothing to lose right here. Okay, let's go. Dobiq trying also. Oh!
I'm not quite sure why Dobiq stuck his leg out there when Ken was so high up in the air. What?
What? Okay. Anti-hop Stormbringer, apparently.
We have those apparently.
Well, you're learning something too today, then, I guess. Okay. But it's kind of like, those anti-air sweeps, in terms of, like, where the actual hitbox comes out from.
Yeah. I think I see what happened there. Dobiq was trying to build meter for
Shermie.
Shermie, thank you.
I don't think that's like a game plan, considering that Dobiq's gonna have to make a miracle happen for this to work. But just as I say that, okay. Just as I say that, it just reversed the entire situation. No, getting the Shermie whip punished all to hell. Okay.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
That was well forced out.
That was a
Good
call out.
preparation, but it's well forced out. We're trying to avoid OCVs here.
I mean, that was literally Dobby sticking his head out of the window and yelling all the way to SPK. I knew I was gonna do that. Okay.
Okay, no Misa to finish it off. That's fine then.
Yeah, but wow. Punish. Did you see that? It was still punish.
Do you know, I've got to say, Kenny's put on a masterful performance here. His cookery, definitely awesome. His Dolores putting in some work. I'm really upset that I've not seen any Clark from you today, Ken. You know, I'm wondering why you're hiding him from me.
You know, the thing about it as well is that SPK is able to show multiple sides of his game style, gameplay. Being able to go from the hard rush down from Kukri, the defensive barrier that is Dolores, and, you know, having Clark basically be the mix-up monster. So, I mean,
They've got a position change here with Hayden going first against Kukri. I actually support this decision.
yes.
Hayden doesn't also need to jump, remember that. So Kukri relies a lot on being in the air for at least 40% of his damage options.
Yeah, I generally like Benimaru in second as well because, you know, having that meter to be able to do some real damage and play defensively afterwards. And, you know, I mean, Hayden doesn't need that much meter to make work.
Yeah. That's why I play him points as well, actually, because he doesn't need meter to be effective. With meter is rubbish anyway, so.
That is true, yeah. His conversions are pretty problematic, I would say.
Yeah. See what I mean? Don't need to jump.
Okay, but, you know, just a little bit too much conversion. Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't believe. Sometimes you've got to believe in the charge time. You don't need to charge it for that long. Good jumping!
Oh my god, yeah. That was a...
This change could be
jumping.
pivotal. It really, really could.
Could.
Sometimes all it takes is to play your characters slightly out of order. I always say to people, make sure that you get used to playing your characters out of order all the time, because they have different capabilities in different positions.
Most definitely, because, you know, sometimes you see people playing characters in certain positions for a reason, but it is like, you know, they do have tools that can handle things a lot better in other slots depending on the matchup.
What?
Ooh.
Just kick straight away through it. I ignore your lightning. I'm going to put my foot, which is fully insulated with rubber, through
Yes.
your
You think I went to the BDSM shop for this outfit for nothing? Okay. Oh no. Okay, Dobby running a train on SPK's Dolores right now. Oh, those jump bees. Getting the... Okay, not going for the max damage.
Like that.
Yeah.
I like
You
that
know.
a lot.
He forced SPK to not want to be able to do anything in that position and just gets thrown for it.
Wait, I've just noticed we've got Clark on screen from SPK. Awesome.
Well, Dobby heard you and he was like, I need to get this happening right now. Okay.
Now,
that's the...
I learned, solely playing against Dobiq's Benimaru, that his Moon Slash easily caught by Clark's B grab. The start
Really?
is actually kind of long, yes.
Oh, okay, I understand now.
As
Yeah,
soon as you see the animation, just throw it out. It will always catch. Always.
I mean, it does have the armor as well. We're talking about B grab, right?
Do you know what? Fair play to Dobiq there. Made the necessary changes. Realized that the order that he was playing wasn't doing him any favors. So just mix it up a little bit. You know, add some spice, stir it in a pot, and serve it up just like he just did.
You know, it's interesting because once you get rid of the kukri and you have those playstyles of those two characters, like I was saying about SPK's team, they are the ones that are going to have to approach Benimaru at that point. So And if it is Hydern, it's still going to be a similar situation. So regardless of who he loses in the first round, it's not going to be easy.
No.
But obviously, Hydern a lot more equipped to handle Kukri.
Absolutely. Like I said, Haydn doesn't really need to jump, and when Kukri does jump, got that area covered.
Okay, run up. Actual command grab, Stormbringer. Gets the throw. Oh my god, no.
love that.
Let's reset.
Didn't believe in the charge. Gotta believe in the charge.
Yeah, this is not Street Fighter. It's one of the best things about SNK games is that charge characters are so much fun, especially because of just like the charge timings and the way that they implement the moves as well.
Oh, I love this. Dobiq, that was sick. Your hiding is awesome. Keep it up.
Nice frame trap, yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know, I wish they would do something for Leona because I miss my girl.
Oh, Leona's trash.
Yeah, I feel you. I understand.
She's the only one of the Yukari team that I actually dislike.
Yeah, and this is basically one of the only KOFs I've not been playing her. It's sad. Okay, but oh, nice cross up, but gets the back throw. Let's see what happens here. Guard cancel CD. I like that idea. Yeah, run up, throw, run stop. Yeah, I don't understand why she doesn't have like amazing instant overheads and stuff like that. It's just sad for Leona. Oh, got him. Catching, pressing buttons. So much done to debilitate. Oh, and nice catch on the jump in from after the EX Moon Slasher.
So, has Ken already found himself in a position where he's acclimatized to this gameplay? Because Dobiq is now in his last character. With not a huge amount of meter either.
Right.
It's going to be quite difficult, a difficult hill to climb.
See, the thing that people don't understand about anchors in this game is that, well, almost in every other KOF as well, you have to be able to do things without meter. So Shermie could have definitely done a giant combo on SPK, but it wouldn't be able to stand up for the next few rounds, you know, especially when you go for an OCV or an reverse OCV or having to be two characters. Yeah.
Oh, was that 5-2?
Oh, yes!
What was that happen? It didn't happen very quickly, but it happened without me noticing it. Well done to SPK. Did he win this first game as well?
No, this is the second game that SPK
No, as in the
played.
first challenge today. Did he win that as well? I'm sure he did.
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
Well done to SPK. He's had a very, very good evening today. This evening. I'm hyped at watching what Dobiq has done with Haydn. Because like I said, when he first started his challenge, he was maybe not as strong as he is now. But I've learned a lot and I'm going to take it away with me. Thank you, Dobiq. You've given me lots and lots of fuel.
That's lovely, but let me check on the actual ladder right now. Okay. I just need to find the... Please help me, Aloysius.
Alright, so next game.
Yes. Okay, announcement. Alright. No, I don't know where the ranking is because I'm trying to find what okay. Yes, I'm trying to find for SPK. I think SPK was basically defending himself this week. So I'm very interested to see whether these wins have inspired SPK to maybe want to make a challenge to one of you three because
Yeah, he
Grimulus
doesn't want
is-
to challenge me. Go challenge
mean-
Super or Paladin.
I mean, you're worth less than Super. You do realize
fine.
that?
I'm fine where I am, mate. I'm absolutely fine where I am.
Oh my god. Yeah, just aiming to stay at second, I guess.
Yep, this is my default place to get behind Super with these sort of things. Actually do remember in the we did a pre-release tournament. I can't remember, it was a basis tournament. Super came first. I went all the way through the bracket. He knocked me into losers. I went all the way through the bracket and came second to him. It's my default place. So I'm just not even going to bother. I'm not going to stay second.
Oh, very content and zen input from you. But
But no, everybody else can fight it out for third. That's fine. Unless Paladin wants a rematch, a third go at me. Is that Paladin? Is that alright?
I'm not sure. Are we gonna get a confirmation from Paladin?
I'm hoping so, because... Yes, I'm hoping so. Anyway, back to what's actually good. Have you seen who we've got coming up next? We've got the Paladin, the guy who I've just been talking about, going up against Neo Kage. Now, Neo Kage played earlier on this game, in this particular episode of this series, and I think he lost, didn't he?
Yes, he
Yes, he did.
definitely did against.
But that doesn't mean that he's not going to do well against Paladin. Neo Kage, is, as you mentioned before, is a very, very practiced player, relies very much on set plays. But Paladin has some of the most ignorant offense I've seen. He will press buttons while going forwards, doesn't know how to go backwards. And his rock is definitely something to worry about. Now, as you can see, we've got Neo Kage versus Paladin, both almost identical in age, both from completely different regions of the country. Paladin from Glasgow and Neo coming from Berkshire. First KOF for Neo Kage was KOF 14, and I do remember playing him on 14 quite a lot actually. He was very, very good. But first KOF for Paladin is 98. That's not indicative of his age. It just means that that's where he started, which is fine because 98 was awesome.
Oh god, yeah, that is definitely one of my favorite KOFs. I'll be right back. Sorry.
限界まで飛ばせ見せてみろ Round 1 Ready Go
Right, so here we go. Kicking it off, we have Paladin going up against Neo Kage. It'd be interesting to see how Neo Kage reacts to his rock, to be fair, because his rock is incredibly obnoxious. Likes to throw out that fast C. Air parry, not working out. What I did notice playing against Paladin's rock is that the spacing required against his character is ridiculous, because lots of rock's moves throw him forwards. Great anti-air there from... Oh my gosh! Empty jump low! What is going on? What is going on? I did not expect that, but I'm very, very happy with the result. Sorry, Paladin, but I'm back in Neo here. Excuse me. To be fair, Paladin's Kyo is awesome. I know from first hand how tough this character is to beat. Overhead. Those buttons from Cake. Definitely causing an issue here. Just down A for the win. Stop the wreckers with a sweep. This is interesting. This is definitely not something that I would have expected to see, but I'm liking what I see. Oh! Oh, unfortunate. If Neo Kage managed to get the confirm, that would have been game over. All it takes is one hit, double KO. I'm very, very sure that Neo Kage will be happy with that trade. Going into this last... Excuse me. Going into this last... going to his last character with 2 to go through. Rio, historically quite good against Leona, to be fair. Goes for the cross-up, but Leona's tiny, you see, so that was probably always going to miss. Oh, that's a trap! Sometimes it's always better to block the earrings because you can always guarantee that there's going to be a V-slash coming out after. No! Into level 2. And just like that, you lose almost a full character. With Leona definitely guaranteed to gain back all of her health after this. Unless Neo Kage can do something pretty darn amazing. Great cross-up! Here we go. Into level 1, I probably would have spent the bar, to be fair, to also go for the level 2. Put a little bit more pressure on the character. Either way,
Hey, made a significant dent in that round, especially when he had only so much health to work with before finishing it. Hey. Oh, nice jump D, getting the Maxwell combo, getting the earring bomb combos. Oh no, misses it. Alright, let's do it.
Oh, that could have been dead! Neo! Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's. Oh no! Oh no!
Cheeky resets! Okay. Oh my god. That.
I've just got one thing to say here. Whatever happens now, I'm very, very happy with this. I've just got one thing to say. Get off my game.
To actually say it in words instead of just, I mean, the text was already impactful enough, and then now you said it in words.
I'm actually really happy that Neo managed to steal that first win. I'm sure there's going to be adjustments made. I'm sure it's going to get a lot more difficult for Neo Kage to get further wins now. But it doesn't matter. The mental damage has been done. Neo Kage has stamped his authority on this game, and Paladin now has to respond in kind. I'm sure he can do it, because he's a very talented player.
Talented, yes, but at the same time, I'm liking this game plan from Paladin. Like, you know, a very good defense on display so far. But able to just hit and run is a very good tactic against Neo Kage right now.
So these are the adjustments that I was expecting, because Paladin does adjust really, really quickly. So already he's managed to shut down, what, 80% of Cake's defense, which is good.
Right, but you know, it's also the training that he made Neo Kage have to, you know, just not want to deal with certain approaches from Paladin, but being able to take advantage of that, you know, sniping of the skull that he's been doing. Oh, there we go! Okay, Raging Storm? Yeah.
See, this is what I love about Paladin. He will always use meter. Always. Because it guarantees pressure on your opponent. I can't fault him. Some people will just do a normal combo. Paladin, if he's got the meter, it's going to get spent.
That is a very good point, actually. Because, you know, we have seen people try to be stingy with their meter, and it's not worked out for them. And Paladin is definitely paying dividends right now.
See, already from the first game, you've got a complete turnaround. You've got Paladin on the verge of an OCV against Neo Kage after he had such a strong performance in the first game.
I do like what Neo Kage is doing, though. You know, trying to go for air-to-airs to get rid of Paladin's threat that has been imposed upon him. Oh, very sneaky with the run grab.
Oh, there's the cross.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And we've got Neo Kage on the board, taking out Rock.
You either get hit with the elbow or you get hit with the hip.
Exact hits with the hip. Now, what can Kyo do against Shomi?
Oh, okay, yeah, I definitely remember Paladin's kill from last week. It's very... Yeah.
He's obnoxious, he really... Oh, that was nice!
Yes.
Paladin's kill is
a
obnoxious.
perfect word. Yeah, I mean, you know, he's very willing to go for those overheads, very willing to do Rekka strings to keep you stuffed in the corner, and able to space them out to stay safe. And of course, these conversions, here we go. Put him in the tornado. Or in the gyro, I think. What is the thing called? Shawarma. Yeah, the shawarma stick.
Well done to what's his face? That bloke from Scotland. Well done to Paladin for bringing it at 1-1.
Thou
just
shalt not
joking,
be
Paladin.
named. That who shall not be named.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay,
joking
okay.
with you. I love you, really. No, I don't. So game 2. Can Neo Kage make the necessary adjustments to keep this game going? Interesting anti-air.
I wonder whether Paladin has red hair and he's your stepson or something. Oh wow.
Anti-air.
Yeah, I mean, being able to DP in that situation and very cleanly as well. Okay, just gonna have to recover. Oh, gets pushed into the corner. Goes for the jumping command grab. Now the slide. Neo Kage just choosing every option off that command jump.
Yep. See, Paladin had to use that get off me button there, the anti-air, just to stop the offense from Gasso.
That is true, but at the same time, maybe Neo Kage is fishing for Paladin. I mean, you know, just getting hit by a few DPs is not a problem in the long run if he can get him to make a mistake and do a full punish. Just like this.
I mean, what you saw was Neo Kage playing like super for the last few seconds of the game because all he had to do was stand still. If Paladin wanted the victory, he had to go forward.
I think you've been hit by a bunch of these standstill tactics, huh? Because there was some malice in your voice.
I may or may not be suffering PTSD right now.
But the pressure, strength from Neo Kage. Jesus, I mean, there are gaps, but Paladin just too afraid to press anything earlier.
Although the guard meter didn't really take that much damage, all things considered.
Yes.
But it was definitely a pleasure to watch. Oh, look at that. The recovery was just ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, using that as movement, that's another thing that Paladin likes to do, and I'm all for it. The EX red kick conversion, not enough to finish it off. And yeah. That'll do. Okay, but I'm wondering what adjustments, especially with his Rio, because again, Neo Kage has been showing some Jesus-like potential from the wing. Yeah.
Oh, catches the backdash, unfortunately. Here we go. This is gonna hurt.
my
We're gonna go
God.
to level 3 now.
I
And
mean,
Rio out of the game. Wait, will it kill? I think it
no.
will.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I mean the way he formulated that offense, doing the red kick and then back dashing to catch the wake up buttons. Oh my god. I mean, it is quite obnoxious to be hit by a red kick out of the air. It's hey, opting for positioning. Oh my god. Now that conversion off the counter hit. Yeah, you know that Paladin is very on point right now.
Although Neo Kage again displaying those changes that are necessary in order to take somebody out.
Most definitely, but it is a tough hill to climb. Oh dear.
Nice.
There we. Okay, never mind. Not yet.
But I said, Neo Kage is actually playing really cleanly here, despite the results. I don't think anybody can argue that he's not putting up a decent fight.
Exactly. I mean,
Good evening.
the reaction times to stuff offense has been very on point. Most definitely.
Now, if only Shomi has an invincible grab.
I mean, one frame is fine.
I mean, if that was hard, those running slashes would be grabbed.
That is true. But the relentless offense from Paladin with that Leona. I mean, yeah, she is kind of rubbish in this game, but at the same time, when you just know how to, get your spacing right, she can be quite a treat.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Paladin's offense has been ignorant. There have been times where he's had to slow it down. But I do like the fact that I just love the fact that he goes forwards all the time. He just can't go backwards.
You know, I would say this about the thing I would say about Paladin is that he knows when to turn the disrespect off.
Does he?
I feel so, because if you look at the way he is playing, he is not relentlessly going in, like saying, okay, this was just some mastery right now, but to go back to my point, see, look at that, the walk back just to catch Kage, like, he knows when to turn it off, I feel. It's a little bit of your bias overtaking your judgment. It's fine.
I have no bias towards Paladin, but I do like beating him because I jest, of course.
Maybe that's the thing, he frustrates you. Like, not just you, in terms of all his opponents.
Of course, Paladin likes an overhead there. Does exactly the same thing with Kyo as he does with Rock.
Oh god, yeah. It seems like he will go for that overhead every chance that he feels is possible.
Okay. Interesting block streams from Rio.
This is what I love. Okay.
Too many fireballs.
Yeah, just figuring it out. Okay, guard cancel roll. You're gonna keep doing this? He's caught so many jump-ins with that. In this round alone.
It's practically a DP box uppercut. It's almost invincible, I'm sure. Very rarely trades, if anything.
Yeah, it is an example of himbo neutral, the one button that does it all. Oh wow, going for the top of that attack.
No.
Hey, very nice block strings.
I was just gonna say, I like them. I really, really like them.
Yeah, I think we both like the same thing in terms of, because we keep calling it out. It's like, drop very lovely block strings.
Now,
see
what Neo tried to do there, that would have been
it's just a little bit off on the spacing.
Yep. Nice DP. That is just like rocks. Did I say nice DP? It practically is a DP. It's just like rocks down C. It's practically a DP. It's almost invincible, I think. It very rarely trades.
Yeah, it definitely is her phantom nails slashing you at that point. Okay, jump CD, get the... Okay, whiff a few. Paladin's clean
into level
jump
2,
in.
into level 3, and it's all she wrote. Yep, all she wrote.
Yeah, definitely.
Ouch.
Paladin going up 4-1, I believe. Is it 3 or 4? And I think... Yeah?
I was going to say, there's a couple of things that I think you need to watch out for with Kyo. His down forward, I think it's down forward D, the double kick.
Yes. Yeah,
Watch out
3D.
for it because it carries him forwards a little bit, and the second it will hit you and can be converted off of if you're standing.
Yeah, I've seen that quite a bit being used as like a whiff punish or just like a general spacing tool, especially because it's very hard to punish at max range.
Now, what can Neo Kage do here? Neo Kage knows what he has to do. It's just a question of believing and understanding that he can actually do it.
Oh my god.
That was ignorant.
Yeah, that was definitely ignorance. That was straight up Neanderthalness.
You know what I mean? Proper unga bunga.
I mean, that was definitely the thing that people say about the definition of insanity. If it doesn't work, doing the same thing over and over again. I know that's wrong. That is not the definition of insanity, by the way. It's just TV that has brainwashed y'all. Alright. Oh, yeah, okay. Full
I almost would
damage.
have gone for level 2 there, to be fair, just to put in a little bit of extra pressure, because you're going to get another bar just here.
Well, you do have to account for the rest, but yeah, okay, never mind. It's very clean right there. I would have gone maybe for the level. No, wait, it doesn't work because it's a height dependency. The level 2 Hao Shaoken. Yeah.
Oh, goes for it. That's worked in previous games, but Paladin tends not to press buttons and wake up. I've learned this the hard way.
Yeah. Like I said, he knows how to turn the disrespect off, and that's why he's, you know, just a shift in momentum over and over again is...
Nice.
Okay, yes, good stuff. At the
Neo
rocket
Kage
launcher.
in a commanding position here against Paladin. But we've got Leona coming with 4 bars, and it won't take her long to roll the 5th, which makes her incredibly dangerous.
That is true, but you're gonna have to get in there for a bit. Never mind, gets the EX Moon Slasher.
What?
Oh no!
That was a misinput, I'm sure. Had to have been.
You definitely feel it.
Oh no!
Oh no. Overcommitment pays for it dearly. Okay. Oh, just getting
not
hit
sure.
by the shoelaces.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Neo Kage wanted to go for a trip guard there, but against Leona, it's not a very good idea. Not unless you do a run under first, because her buttons extend quite a way out, and you're likely going to get hit. Like
Yeah, that's a very good point actually. Yeah, she does have those anti-trip guard ranges. Oh, very clean conversion off the lows.
Oh, that was a nice use of meter there.
Yeah, but gonna have to work a little bit harder than 2 touches to kill off
That's
Shirley.
not gonna kill, is it? Is it gonna kill? I don't know.
No, it's not.
It won't. It's that last hit, you see.
Yeah, see? Watashi wa presento! Alright.
I don't want to say anything.
Neither do I. It's just... Oh my
There you go. Well done, Neo Kage.
god! Yeah, taking advantage of that, you know, the negative frames on that. Just going for the EX command grab after. It's a jump scare, really.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now Neo Kage bringing it a little bit closer to home. This match just got interesting. Considering how strong Paladin is, I think Neo Kage can be proud of himself for winning 2 games against Paladin. It'll be awesome if he wins all 5 games. I mean, you know, I'm not that I'm biased really, but I think it'll be awesome if Neo Kage manages to pull off that feat. He's certainly capable of doing it.
Perhaps so. I mean, Neo Kage did get a little bit luggy, I would have to say.
Oh, schmuck. It
A
was purely
little bit.
conversation.
The cards fell. Alright.
That was nice. Using the burn knuckle for the run under, cross under.
Yeah.
There's the
Ooh. See, here's the thing about Paladin's overheads. Like, even when he doesn't have the meter to capitalize off it, he's just going for it. And maybe that is the reason why they hit so often, because like, definitely if you see it over and over again, you're just not going to be able to expect when he's going to go for it and not.
See, I really don't like Ryo's overhead into super. I think it's
Oh, it's garbage.
It is. It doesn't do any damage at all. Nothing worth pricing home about.
Yeah, I mean, it only really works in the corner, so. And you're gonna have to have
that's not strictly true. You can do it anywhere on the screen. Overhead into super will work. It's just
Oh no.
a bar.
Oh no. What I mean is that it's more like an ending sequence. You have to have like 3 bars, so you can go to level 2 fireball super afterwards, and then go for the DP blah 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 for the rest of the combo. Okay, but Neo Kage having to work all the way back from his last character. 1 down, 2 to go. Very nice use of meter, but at the same time, like I was saying, Shermie is one of those characters that you can put her on anchor. She's going to do a ton of damage, but you're going to have to work a lot to finish off the rest of the game.
See, I'm actually quite excited to see. Oh no, forget it.
I mean, it's one Orochi-nagi, it's fine, she can come back. But, you know, Neo Kage did do it with much less health.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he's past that much less health threshold.
What hits?
Her Neo.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like an armpit or something.
No. It was, you know, she had some chicken grease on her hand and it flicked out. Okay, going for the Shermie whip. No follow-up, but let's see what the mix-up is. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay. Oh, nice jump CD. Yeah, that do nothing.
The potential cross-up potential. Potential cross-up potential. I know what I meant to say there.
Yeah, especially when you don't go for the follow-up after the Shermie Carnival. Yeah. Wait, I don't think it's Carnival, but never mind. Oh, okay.
That's unfortunate.
Double hop.
Paladin was going for the instant overhead into super, I'm very, very sure. But missed the inputs. It doesn't matter because he still managed to walk away with the win. Paladin now in a commanding position, 4 games to 2, with only 1 game left to win the set.
You know what's very interesting about Paladin's team is that Rock and Kill are complete degenerates. Like, the way that he plays them is some degenerate trash, but at the same time... Yes. So, but here's the thing. His Leona is, like, the most respectful, refined character that he has on the team. Like, no YOLO shit, very spacing dependent. Yeah, it's just amazing the way he is able to express himself. And that's what I love about KoFXV. Yeah.
I make you right. It's very easy to fall into the trap of playing a character just like everybody else. That's what I was noticing with Ralph. Everybody's doing exactly the same thing, fishing for the same things, but nobody's stamping their authority on their character as well.
Right.
I quite like the fact that Paladin is using his characters in the way that he is, because that's the way he plays.
Yes.
And I love it.
Exactly. And, you know, Neo Kage exemplifies that very much so as well, especially in Israel. I really love the way he is able to always shoot something new, but this DB punish sadly is not indicative of what I was trying to say. But yes. Yeah, I mean, this patch has... I mean, there are definitely players that try to copy ZJZ or any other Asian players because they're like, oh, you know, Asian players are the best in KOF. But I definitely see quite a bit of expression thanks to this new patch. I mean, I hate talking about this new patch over and over again, but it's such a good boon for this game.
I love this. This Rio is a wall.
Yeah.
Absolute wall. You can't climb over him at all.
I'll remind you that you said this patch was a boon once you fight Cronin next.
Annie?
Right, so here we go. We've got Kyo. An absolute bane to everybody, really.
Ooh. I thought Neo Kage... I thought Neo Kage let go of his stick at the round start at first. That was definitely a last minute block, but going back into the match... Paladin just going for it. Alright. Setup time.
I'm not sure if that was meant to be a Shatter. Oh, what is it? Shatter Strike Central. Everybody's going for Shatter Strikes all the time.
Yeah, and everybody is able to react to the 15 frame startup. It's crazy.
Apparently so.
Or, you know, people just don't want to press buttons, I suppose. But EX red kick, gonna finish it out.
See, it was a shame that Rio lost that round because he was doing so well up against Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've got Shermie hoping to do the almost impossible and knock out Kyo and Leona and stay in the
Oh my god, getting stuffed by that crouching B and running for command grab all the time. Okay, going for this simple conversion. Very interesting. Just wanting to do as much damage as possible in case he loses this round.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Paladin is just like getting these stray hits because he's just like, I have nothing to lose right now.
But now, do you know what? We've got Shermie with 4 Mars bars, going into a fight with Leona with 1 bar, well, 1 3/4 bars.
That is true, but he did do all those stuffs. He just wanted to get all that damage done.
Yeah. I
Alright.
respect it. Is he going to use the 2 bars? Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Because there's going to be another one coming just soon.
Yeah?
This is a good comeback from Neo Kage here.
I mean,
Just really
it is...
digging into.
Right now, Neo Kage just needs 2 mix-ups. Oh my god, the confidence on this man. Walked right up. Stabbed through the heart.
Yeah. So, Paladin manages to take that 5 games to 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not a bad shout for Neo Kage. Props off to him because he played absolutely awesomely today. Some of those setups and set plays like we saw today were just great. I can't fault him. You know, the guys come from strength to strength, and to play in this tournament, this event, this Leapfrog league against some of the strongest players in the UK, if I'm being frank, he's done really, really well.
That's very good. Yeah, exactly. These highlights, though. I mean, look at the way Paladin is so willing to just like pour on the pressure, turn it off, have a little bit of respect, make the opponent do a mistake, and just capitalize all over and over again.
Indeed.
And you know, especially when you can do this to a player like Neo Kage, who has exhibited so much patience in his gameplay, and yet still falls to the trap that Paladin sets. That's quite commendable, actually.
The Paladin showing that he's actually really good at jump-ins, really good at following up and shutting off damage. Now, as we play ourselves out, guys, please remember to visit the Matcherino. Just type an exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. I will be making a donation on behalf of East London Fighters to this competition because it's awesome. If I'm honest, I've had so much fun playing some of the, like I mentioned before, some of the best players in the UK. Excuse me. So all you need to do is go to this site after typing exclamation mark Matcherino and make a donation. There are no codes, unfortunately. We're not big enough for that. But make a donation, a £5, a £10, 40 quid, 150, whatever you like. And it'll go to get paired out to the top 3 in 2 weeks' time when this show culminates.
I like how you were using your real estate voice for the tail end of that. Okay, but you know this you know, that's the other thing. The other thing about this event is that Aloysius, you know, he has this Leapfrog series for Guilty Gear as well, and I think it's one of those. I likened it last week to wrestling booking, where like, you know, oh okay, so whoever can challenge whoever and become the champ immediately.
Yeah. So can
and
I just interrupt here?
Yeah,
Sorry to
sure.
interrupt you, Fred. I'd just like to make a shout out to this week's player of the week. It is indeed Neo Kage. Yes, he may have lost both of his challenges today, but do you know what? Most improved player by far, in my opinion. The guy's awesome. Keep it up.
most improved, but at the same time able to show us different things that we have not seen before. And now your event.
Indeed, indeed. Guys, if you are in London or around London on July 30th and 31st of this month, July is this month, yes it is, we have Revolver Lights. Now, Revolver Lights is the stripped down version of our annual event. Usually we'll showcase maybe 6 games from different publishers, but this time round, because it's returning from COVID and because I've had a hell of a year, we're only doing a stripped down thing, and we're having SNK on the Saturday and we're having Bandai Namco on the Sunday. We've got some awesome prizes. For if you win the KoFXV, we will pay for your entry and venue entry and tournament entry for versus fighting. If you win Tekken, we'll give you free flights, accommodation, and entry to Celtic Throwdown for that event. Guys, enter, make your mark, and do not come down to play some games. It's going to be awesome.
You know what I love about how you are setting up this event? You are not promising them something that they can. Sometimes you say, okay, I'm going to give you a monitor for the prize, but what you're actually doing is you're giving them a chance to be able to travel, and because you won my event, you should be playing in this bigger event. Like you're just passing on the love here, and that's amazing.
This is the whole point of what we do in East London Fighters, and indeed what Aloysius does with his tournaments. It's all about supporting the community. It's all about helping people to improve and giving them a reason to want to improve as well. Fighting games are great. Fighting games are awesome, and some of us have been doing it for most of our lives. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, and that's why I connect with you guys, with Aloysius especially, very well, because we have this community mindset. Let's keep it going, guys. And thank you again for watching Leapfrog, and go out and play. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Good night.